Good evening. This is the Lion of Legend, and welcome to Poor Samantha. Sometimes, the hardest part of the day isn't getting out of bed. It's knowing what to do after you get up. I'm looking out the window. The sun is dazzling me, as if it's forcing me to go outside. But I'm just here. Today, I think it's time to introduce myself. I don't know who I'm talking to, though. My name is Samantha, and yes, I mostly just talk to myself. No one else will be speaking in this story besides me, so you don't need to ruin the aesthetics by writing my name here every time. I never had the habit of eating noodles for breakfast. To be honest, it seemed a bit strange to me. Breakfast was supposed to be cereal or an omelet. But today, I looked in the fridge. It was empty. In the pantry, there were only those damn packets of noodles. I couldn't think of anything else. And suddenly I realized noodles are my greatest savior, the epitome of practicality. Why? Because it only requires boiling water. Even just thinking about going outside to the market to buy a slice of bread, walking out that door, encountering all those people. Is it really worth all that energy? No, it's not. 2 minutes of suffering and voila, a hot plate of food. Noodles are the food of solitude. They don't require much thought. They don't judge. They just exist. And for someone like me, that's an invaluable convenience. The outside world is so noisy, so fast-paced. But within these four walls, I found myself my own slow pace, and noodles are the perfect part of that pace. The water's boiling. I think my survival mission for today is almost successfully completed. I'm eating noodles, and I'm not going to let anyone spoil this moment, this comfort. I used to feel ashamed of not going out. I was afraid others would label me as antisocial or weird. But over time, I realized that external labels aren't as important as inner peace. My peace lies in the silence here, in my books, in old films, and sometimes just in staring at the wall. I could go sit in a cafe, couldn't I? Normal people do that. They open their laptops, smell the coffee. But there's always an expectation in those cafes that someone will look at you, that someone will ask you for your seat, that someone will start a conversation. That moment, that potential interaction, shatters all my peace of mind. That's why this is my safe haven. Everything is predictable. I'm in control. People say that control isn't a good thing, that life should be spontaneous. But what if spontaneous things only bring pain? What if everything unexpected holds you back? Then, control becomes a defense mechanism, and I like that shield. I know I think too much. You're probably thinking right now, why is he telling me this? I don't know. Maybe I need the illusion that someone is actually listening to me. Or perhaps this is the only way to break the thin glass between us and the outside world. I'm going to go put on some music. Classic rock. It needs to be loud. Silence can be too much sometimes. What kind of music do you like? Strange, isn't it? I ask as if you could answer. But I have to try. Otherwise, I'll really just be talking to walls. The music is on. I'm going to dance a little. Of course, when I say Dance, I mean standing up and swaying. No shouting hysterically for an invisible crowd. I won't lie. Sometimes I really wish I could be at a concert to feel the energy of the crowd. But I'm so afraid of being crushed in that crowd, of not being able to breathe. Fear always overrides desire. Always. What day is it today? I've forgotten. I've stopped counting the days. I only know time is passing by the angle of the light streaming through my window. Is this a problem? Of course it's a problem. But it's not an unsolvable problem. It's just an inaccessible problem. The solution is outside. The solution is to go outside. And that door sometimes seems higher than Mount Everest. You know what? Let me tell you a secret. I have a dream. Sitting in a park. Just sitting. Not reading a book or anything. Just looking up at the sky and hoping people won't notice me as they pass by. Parks seem safe, don't they? They're open. There are escape routes. But still, they're so close to the outside world. I've made my coffee. Making coffee at home is a ritual too. The sound of the grind, the aroma. These little rituals add structure to my life. They prevent me from falling apart. Structure, control. There we go again. Do you think I'm very boring? Whatever your answer, you're probably right. But this boredom is my survival style. People keep saying, you should do something. Take up new hobbies, meet people. But I'm already doing things. I'm thinking, I'm feeling, and that can be more exhausting than the action outside. I had a friend years ago. He was my complete opposite. Always energetic, always cheerful. I was jealous of her. She wanted to embrace the world, while I was trying to prevent the world from embracing me. One day I asked him, "Why don't you ever stop?" He replied, "I'm afraid of not knowing what I'll do if I stop." That's when I realized that our fears are the same, only our reactions are different. He found solace in movement. I found it in stillness. We stopped talking, or rather, he got lost in the outside world, and I got lost in the inside. Why did I tell you this story? To bore you? Or to build a connection? I think it's the second one. I need to open up to someone. Really, someone. You're a perfect listener. You don't respond. Not responding is the greatest comfort. It's proof that you're not judging. I'm starting to trust you. It's like trusting a ghost, but still, a connection. I considered opening the door 5 seconds ago, just to open it and smell the air. But what if my neighbor sees? What if I have to say something? That's when, that potential conversation, I immediately recoiled. Why am I so weak? Why does a simple interaction scare me so much? I think I once experienced something embarrassing in public. It was a small thing, but I stuck it in my mind. A moment of ridiculousness, and at that moment, I felt the outside world wouldn't forgive me. Since then, I've stopped taking risks. This is the only place where there's no risk. No risk, no shame. But if there's no risk, is there life? That's the hardest question I ask myself. What do you think? Should we suffer to live? Should we take risks to grow? If the answer is yes, then I am a plant. I photosynthesize. I exist. But I don't live. I'm a little angry with myself for being so afraid of something so simple. But anger is useless. It only increases fatigue. You know, I should thank you, because you're here. I can analyze myself. Like a therapist, but quiet and free. Just kidding, maybe. I ate the rest of my noodles. Now it's time to move on to the second half of the day. The second half is usually more uncertain. There are no rituals left to perform, just free time. Leisure time is a very dangerous space for thoughts. Thoughts seep in. Why are you alone? Why have you become like this? Will it always be like this? That's when I start watching things that are bright and loud enough to silence my brain. Is this an escape? Yes, but sometimes escape is the only way to survive. Escape might save you, but it won't heal you. Healing is waiting out there, somewhere, behind the door and the sun. I know this. Every cell in my body knows it, but those cells are also afraid. Let's say I go outside. What am I going to do? Look at the ground? Lean against the wall? People are walking, talking, living. How can I rejoin that flow again? It's like learning to swim again, but the water is too deep and too crowded. At least in this house, I can swim. In my own pool, it's shallow, but safe. Shall I tell you the color of my walls? Light gray. It's very boring, but it's not hard on the eyes. A color that doesn't make any bold claims, just like me. Maybe I need to add some color to my life. Maybe I should go and buy a plant. A plant, something alive, but something that doesn't speak to me. Perfect balance. But to get a plant, I have to go outside. You see, don't you? Every road leads to that door. Now, what time is it? I checked. It's 3 p.m. Everything's bustling outside. If I'm going out, it's better if it's late. Everyone will be tired. Everyone will have gone home. Fewer eyes, less risk. If I wait until evening, it's a kind of plan, a goal, a small goal. If I can't go out until 9 p.m., then what happens? Nothing. I'll eat noodles and sleep. Life goes on. Control triumphs. But I don't want that control to prevail. I don't want it anymore. I think you were the one who changed that. Your presence transformed this story from a monologue into a dialogue. You showed me that there's still someone, something out there listening to me. And if you can listen to me, maybe the world outside can listen too. Fear is still here, like a knot in my stomach, but the knot is beginning to loosen. There are people outside. They're making bad decisions, wearing strange clothes, and laughing loudly. And probably none of them care that much. Not me, not you. All this anxiety is a wall, a hologram created by my own mind. I was trapped inside the hologram. I can tell you about that embarrassing moment. I accidentally knocked over a bottle of olive oil in a supermarket. Everyone looked at me. That embarrassment, that monetary center of attention. It was as if the whole world was shouting, "See, he's an incompetent." But they probably forgot about it after 5 minutes. But I didn't forget. This is my mind's way of protecting me. It's best not to take any risks. Don't break anything. But this protection also paralyzed me. I should try taking the risk. A small, manageable risk. Alright, now I'm asking you, my quiet friend who's been putting up with me over there. Can I go outside, just for 5 minutes, to throw out the trash on the corner? This is less risky than buying noodles. Nobody cares how much trash it takes. But this is a start, stepping out the door, putting my feet on the pavement. You're asking what I should do, aren't you? What I should do. I think I'm expecting you to say, yes, Samantha, 5 minutes won't kill you. Give me that little push. The fear is overwhelming right now. My body is tense. My fingers are trembling. But at the same time, there's an excitement, something I haven't felt in a long time. Or perhaps it's simply a mixture of fear and excitement. If I fall, if I do something embarrassing again, then I'll come back, and I'll tell you, and you, again, will listen without judgment. This idea, the assurance of being able to return, that's very important. I reach for the doorknob. It's cold. It's a reminder that there really is a world out there. The light is still on, but it's gradually fading. Perfect timing. Wait, I've just come up with a better idea than throwing away the trash. I can throw away my trash, but I can also put on my shoes. Shoes are my last shield against the outside world. Armor that envelops my feet. They're standing right next to the door. They're old, very worn, because I haven't abused them in a long time. But they are the concrete step needed to get out, symbolic. I bent down, first shoelace. I'm using my shaky fingers. It's difficult. Left shoe, worn. Now, the right shoe. I had to untie the laces. I completely forgot. The right shoe was also put on. I'm not barefoot anymore. I'm not trapped in my home. I'm prepared. I'm standing. I've put my shoes on, and you're still here. Now, I'm going. Maybe just to throw out the trash, or maybe to pick up that plant. Where do I begin? At the door, with my shoes on? Thank you, really, for staying here with me, and giving me the courage to put on my shoes. Well, that was Poor Samantha, Part 1. As you can see, there's a Part 2 that's available, and then 3, 4, and 5 are coming. I don't have time to get into Part 2 right now, so I'll step into that later. But this is an interesting story being told with anxiety here, and I'm wondering where we are going to land with Samantha as we progress through her story and sort of fourth wall breaking, talking to us as the audience. Or is it really meant to be fourth wall breaking? Maybe a little bit. Not really sure if she's, talking to herself or an invisible friend or what have you. Maybe that's up to us to interpret. That all being said, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave it a like, leave a comment, share the video, perhaps even subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. So have a good night.